There are thousands of books on relationship education, how to have a good relationship, how to be happy in relationships. It's a multi-million-dollar industry, but no one tells you how to break up well. And the funny thing is, you're gonna have more breakups in your life than you are going to be lasting relationships. So today, let's explore how in the world do you break up well in a relationship. The first step to a good breakup is identifying what do you really want. When we don't know what we want, our boundaries are pretty wishy-washy. And so we'll just kind of go with whatever the current of the relationship is and be like, I guess this is good enough. But once you sort of turn on the lights and say, am I really getting my needs met? And if the answer is no, you now introduce conflict into your life because you either A, ignore those needs, B, you try to say, well, how do I get those needs met within this relationship? Or the third path is, look, I don't know that my needs will ever be met in this relationship, and so it's time to dissolve. When we reach a point where we recognize, hey, this relationship is not the best fit for me right now, it's important to identify what kind of relationship do you want with this person. And most relationships, it's kind of a clean break where it's like, hey, we're going to discontinue contact, we're going to not invite each other. But we have this weird thing today where we kind of break up, but we keep people in the peripheral of like our lives. Oftentimes, that's more distracting than it is helpful for both people to be able to gain closure and to find healing and move on to sort of future endeavors that may include additional relationships. Being clear with your partner is important. Honesty is an act of kindness. One of the things that prevents us from having good conversations with our partners, like if I'm honest, it's going to hurt their feelings. It's less kind to be deceptive. And so without being, attacking character, you can clearly say, in this relationship, there are moments that were very meaningful. I've reached a point where this is no longer the right place for me to grow. And I appreciate your efforts into making this relationship wholesome. And it's okay to acknowledge that this could be difficult for them and that if they're hearing this for the first time, it could be distressing. When you're the person exiting the relationship, you kind of like emotionally divorce that relationship before you actually break up. And so you've had some time to think about your healing process. So be kind and patient with the person as they're learning this for the first time, but also it's okay to establish it's very specific, these are my expectations or these are the boundaries I would like as a result of this divorce or this breakup. The means by which you deliver this message can be important. And you kind of have to be the person to decide what is the most appropriate vehicle. More people break up over text, over DMs, social media. That thing does happen. But I would just ask you to consider what feels like the most appropriate way for you. And given the nature of the relationship, does text make sense? Does a phone call? Or to honor sort of the effort and energy put into the relationship, is there some courtesy in, hey, I want to meet face to face to let you know that this is both a thank you as well as a goodbye. It's important to note that some relationships really are not safe. And so you have to consider what would be an appropriate reaction and response. If you're not in a safe relationship, then you may need additional sort of supports in place. So in addition to letting this person know that you're breaking up, it might be wise to let, a cared one know that, hey, just, this breakup is coming and to get support. Isolation is huge. When people are close to break up but choose not to, it's usually because they feel isolated and they'll say, I'll hold on to this relationship even if it's not really healthy because it's better than being alone. So one of the best things you can do before the breakup is to let someone else know that, hey, I've explored breaking up with this person. This is what I really think my heart needs at this moment, and to have that support and also a little bit of accountability to follow through with the actual breakup. Breakups are hard. It doesn't matter if you're the person initiating the breakup or the person receiving the bad news, there's an element of hurt. And during that moment of pain, it's okay to say, let me explore what I'm learning about myself as a result of this relationship. As we identified earlier, most people have several different relationships before they find the one, if that's something important in their life. And so with each breakup, it's an opportunity to learn what it is that I value and care about in relationships, and that I can have a vision of, a future relationship potentially in which I feel whole in. If you're in a position where you're trying to decide, should I stay in my current relationship or is it time to move on? Check out this video for a list of warning signs that it might be time to leave your relationship.